Imagine you're starving. You walk into your favorite restaurant and pick a delicious meal off of the menu. But before the waiter can serve you, you get up and walk out, never to return. That sounds crazy, right? But this is what we do with our biggest goals all the time. We do not follow them through. We simply walk out on them, even though we are starving to see that ambition come to fruition. So how come you still stop trying at things that you really want, knowing full well that that is the surest way to obliterate your goals and any chances of success? It's because the stories we are telling ourselves about failure is far more devastating than the stories we're telling ourselves about success is inspiring. And this is why it's so crucial to find value not only in the prize, but also in the process. By finding value in the process, we're giving ourselves an extra lever that we can play with to entrench our consistency. To put all our chips in the basket of the prize is to make ourselves more susceptible to that overwhelming feeling of discouragement and disheartenment when things are not going perfectly as planned. It's logically and instinctively not a worthwhile pursuit anymore. For you to even attempt something, there has to be some perceived value. That value can either be in the process or in the outcome. And it can range from having fun, earning money, helping someone you care about, whatever it may be. But when that value becomes overshadowed by your perception of the cost, we inevitably stop chasing after those goals. This makes it incredibly easy to be susceptible to the endless distractions that we find around us, from relationships to technology to social media, you name it. It is vying for our attention. Until we shift the balance of this, failure will continue to be a death sentence for our ambitions. The only guaranteed way to fail is to either never try or to stop trying at something that you really want. If you decide never to start something, or to start but stop after realizing that the cost is going to be way more than you are ready for or that you can afford, that is not failure. That is a reassessment of priorities. Sometimes the cost is not imminent until we actually start down that road. However, if there's something that you covet, something that you know you can afford, and you're willing to pay that price, and yet you still decide to walk out on that pursuit before you complete the transaction, that is failure. That is walking out of that restaurant starving after you've already ordered your meal. In this sense, failure only has two definitions: things that we want but don't attempt, or things that we attempt but don't appreciate. We can tell ourselves a weak story about why we're chasing certain dreams and the cost and the sacrifices that we have to make to get there. Or we can tell ourselves a strong story, one that is more resilient to the inevitable roadblocks along the way. We can make the process the prize. This allows us to redefine success from something that is so rigid to something that is more malleable, something that can be crafted internally. Failure is inevitable. It's difficult, it's discouraging, and it's draining. But it forces us to confront our priorities. It crystallizes the cost that we have to pay for excellence, a cost we often overlook when the euphoria of ambition clouds our judgment. When I started this YouTube channel about a year and a half ago, I thought it was going to be so much easier to grow my audience. It's incredibly disheartening to spend so much time preparing and editing a video just to have no views or few views. Had I made that the only metric by which to measure my progress, to measure my success, I would have stopped a long time ago. The benefits would not have outweighed the cost. Instead, I found value in the process. The constant refining of my thoughts, my speech, my knowledge have all been more than enough. Not even that I haven't grown. 400 subscribers is nothing to be scoffed at, but it's certainly not the pace that I had envisioned. And In spite of that, it hasn't crippled me, it hasn't paralyzed me. This affair with the process is what I lean into whenever I'm feeling discouraged. You have to be honest with yourself, not only about your priorities, but also about the price that you're willing to pay for them. Is this goal one that you truly want? Or perhaps is it time to have an honest reassessment and shift priorities? If you know what you want and you can afford the cost, the only thing stopping you is a weak story. So tell yourself a better one.